What is good people? You are now listening to another episode of A Wicked Good Time with Danny Foxworth. I am your humble narrator, Danny Foxworth, and hopefully y'all had a great holiday season. We're going to sniff some candles, but just to do a little recap of what transpired over my holidays. So, first thing, my parents, shout out to them, they celebrated 50 years of marriage on December 22nd. 50 years. That's half a century. That is wild. But man, that's such a testament to their love. And we had a ceremony for them after Sunday service at St. James AME Church. That was a beautiful, very, very joyous occasion. And just seeing they're looking at their old wedding pictures and everybody giving their favorite stories of them and whatnot. And when the food was great, the tea was good. It was an all around beautiful occasion. And the day before, it was the day before. I got to pick my sister up from the airport. Well, no, it was Friday night. That Friday night. I'm sorry. Man, that holiday traffic was crazy at the airport that night because her flight didn't come in until, around midnight before her flight got in. And when I got there, it was just a trail of cars. It was ridiculous, but it was good to pick her up. She lives in Nashville, so I got to hug her neck in real life, and that's always a good feeling. To spend the time with my sissy, and she stayed with me for a couple days and cooked her shrimp and grits and whatnot. And then so fast forward to Christmas Eve, we had an oyster roast. That was actually the first time I had oysters this whole year. So it was just the four of us, and then my Aunt Keita and my cousin Lanye, they came over, and again, it was just a beautiful occasion. Just getting to crack oysters and crack wise with my loved ones. And Mom made catfish stew and cornbread. Boy, that catfish stew and cornbread was bussin'. Man, had some chicken wings, and that was a beautiful occasion. And then Christmas Day, we're unwrapping gifts. Mom she replenished my wacky socks like she does every year, and got a bunch of snacks in my stocking. And she gifted me an electric tea kettle, which I didn't even know that they made, but that's a pretty neat gadget. I've used that every morning for the last 3 days now to just make my tea every morning. So shout out to Santa Mom. Then took Melissa back to the airport earlier that day so she could catch a flight and then so she could spend Christmas with her fiance up in Nashville. And yeah, that was holidays. Holidays were good. Holidays were really good. A lot of eating, a lot of relaxing. But off the subject of food, we're going to get into sniffing the first candle. So I got to give a shout out to my friend Dana Gutterin. She actually recommended this candle to me via text message. She sent me a picture. She was like, you got to try this. So we're going to try it. Got this one for Walmart. This is a Mainstays brand. This is the Crispy Treats. So the notes in this one are lemon, marshmallow, and cereal accord. Not familiar with cereal accord. Sounds fancy, though. So looking at it, 3 wicks. I'm going to take the lid off and smell it. Oh, yo, this joker smells just like Fruity Pebbles. Dog, this is sorcery. This is sorcery. Man, yeah, it's just like the perfect balance of lemon and marshmallow. Oh my God. All it needs is milk. That's legit. All this thing needs is milk. So I'm going to light this one up. Yeah, this one definitely gets the seal of approval. So while I'm lighting this up, I'm going to get into the second subject, which is my beloved Carolina Panthers, who caught not one but 2 black eyes yesterday from the hands of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They ended up losing 48-14, and this is off the heels of them putting up 36 points the previous week and getting the W. Boy, they just did a complete 180 and went back to standard issue Panther fashion. Whew, that was a mess. That game was an absolute mess yesterday. Bryce Young was probably the only bright spot. He had he showed some flashes of brilliance with them 2 touchdown passes, and just climbing the pocket whenever the pocket collapsed, and he was just making his throws to where he needed to make them. And yeah, shout out to Bryce Young. I think he's I was skeptical in the beginning of the year, but he's made a liar out of me. I can't even sit here, and I'm not even gonna sit here and hold you. But yeah. Then Xavier Wick-ed, man. I tell you what, aside from him being my new favorite player simply because he eats raccoon, I love eating raccoon, and he also hates bell peppers and onions like I do. So all that is food criticism aside, he needs to learn how to catch the ball with his hands instead of catching with his body. So that's, man, he's in his own head right now, but he'll be all right. He'll work his way out of it. But yeah, only one game left against the Falcons, and I cannot wait for the season to be over with. So the Panthers are now currently sitting at 4-12. Whew. Rough times. So now I'm going to get into my second candle. This is also from Walmart, the Mainstays brand. This one is entitled Cozy Comfort. So this one is jasmine and musk and vanilla. So took the lid off, and this one also has 3 wicks, just like the previous candle. So now I'm gonna take a sniff with this one. Man, you know what? I like this one. Very light. Got a nice light fragrance to it. The jasmine to me is the dominant notes in this with the smell of this candle. And yeah, this one also gets a passing grade from me. You smell the musk and the vanilla on the back end of this. But yeah, man. You know what? I haven't had a bad candle yet. I'm on a winning streak right now. So again, shout out to Mainstays, and yeah, y'all doing your thing with the candle making. So yeah, I'm very especially impressed with the cereal candle. That one, oh my God, that is flat out sorcery right here, and I can already smell it. It's already making its presence felt. Man, so kudos to Crispy Treats. And lastly, the thing I want to talk about is prioritizing rest. Make sure that you get your rest. Listen to your body when it tells you that it needs to sit down somewhere. And you need to heed that advice, and you need to heed what your body is telling you, because look, you're going to run yourself ragged all in the name of productivity and getting things done, but sometimes you need to set aside to getting things done and listen to your body. Because if you don't listen, that body's going to put its foot down and make you rest. So I took a lot of PTO during this holiday season, just to end this month of December, and a lot of that PTO was spent just chilling in the house and doing absolutely nothing. And I do not feel guilty about that at all. I mean, it's PTO. They're literally paying you to stay home. So yeah, shout out to PTO. Again, get your rest, because rest is paramount. I usually aim for anywhere between 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night, and just waking up refreshed the next morning, it makes all the world of difference. Yeah, shout out to magnesium, glycinate, and vitamin D too. So those are some very key supplements to help me get the prime sleep that I need. And with that being said, this has been another episode of A Wicked Good Time with Danny Foxworth. This is the last episode of 2024. Make sure y'all like, download, and subscribe. Make sure y'all tell a friend to tell a friend. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can find me at Danny Foxworth 843. See, I decided, I just got to make everything easy for y'all, so I'm not hard to find. You can find me on IG at Danny Foxworth 843. You can find me on Twitter, which is at Danny Foxworth Danny Foxworth 843, but it's FOXWRTH. It's only one O in Foxworth instead of 2. And any questions or comments you want to leave for the podcast, I have an email address. Go to foxworthpodcast@gmail.com and make sure to leave the particular podcast that you have a question for in the subject header, and I will respond in kind. And this has been another episode of A Wicked Good Time with Danny Foxworth. And until next time, y'all be good. Keep it lit.